What's going on, everybody? I'm Scott Oots, and I have a special guest today. We have had a lot, well, not a lot, just one female sales rep in the past that did not work out for us, so we decided we would try it a second time. I am here with Emilie.
Hi.
And she's very excited to be pulled in here today against her will.
Yes.
But how long have you been with us now?
Since November 4th.
November 4th. And you originally turned us down, right? You said,
Yeah.
No, I don't want the job.
It was nothing personal.
Oh, it was.
I know it might have felt that way to you guys, but it was not personal.
Well,
I didn't know if I was ready to go back to work and be back in sales. Yeah.
So let's, we tell a lot of people about our interview process. So you actually kind of already had a heads up on interview process because you knew somebody in the office.
Actually, she didn't. I was kind of thrown in blind.
See, that was a trick question. I was actually just seeing if she actually told you about it.
Yeah, no, I knew not to. I knew to say no anyways. No, but even if she would have prepped me for that, I would. There's really no prep for what happened that day.
What happened that day?
I don't remember.
So you walked into that interview, and a lot of people watching try to figure out, how do I hire good sales reps, right? And that's a challenge that a lot of companies try to encounter, or a lot of companies encounter, and I want to help them through it. So you came into this interview. What was your initial thought? Were you nervous?
Yeah. Well, I'm always nervous. I'm nervous right now.
And even more after seeing me and Mike, I'm
Absolutely.
sure. Okay.
I thought, oh, wow, these
two good-looking people were going to interview me.
Absolutely.
Yes, totally.
Yes. I actually
Okay.
almost walked out right away, but I thought, I'll give it a whirl.
Hey, so you sat down. You were nervous. You're sitting there at the table. And did we just start drilling you with questions? What happened?
No, it was a different... So I guess I've only ever had one job before, so actually there was like two, I lasted like 30 minutes and then left jobs. So I really...
You didn't tell us that in the interview.
Yeah, just things were not going to work out after I accepted the job. Once I started doing the job, I thought, this is not... So I haven't been to too many interviews, but at my old job, I would see and sit in some interviews, and this was a lot different. I actually really liked it a lot, and that was kind of a reason why I turned you guys down. No, I'm just kidding. It's kind of why I came back.
All right.
You didn't drill on questions. You, I think the interview was a long time. I think I was here for a while, and we were just talking like normal people.
So the whole point was to get you to get rid of that nervousness you had.
Get me
comfortable. I would say we succeeded at that.
Yeah.
I mean, ultimately our first question usually is, are you nervous? And usually that answer is always yes.
Yeah.
And it was no different in your case. So we went through our interview, and ultimately our goal was to get to know you, right?
Yeah.
And tell me about your life. Tell me about what it is that you do in your spare time. Is family around here? Stuff like that. But then we went into something that's our funnest part of the interview.
Is that when Mike threw water at me?
That was an accident.
Oh, okay.
That did happen. But ultimately, we asked her to bring something to sell us.
Oh, gosh.
So we said, you know what? Bring something to sell. And I was actually very impressed because in most cases, somebody brings an ink pen.
Yeah.
And they always try to sell us a blue pen every single time. And as someone tries to sell us something, both me and Mike try to throw that person off and do whatever we can to throw that person off. And it's the two of us against them, because as you've learned now coming into this job, you have to be able to take rejection and spin it to try one more time.
Sure.
So what did you try to sell us that day?
Oh my gosh. I sold you guys a bifurcated invertebrator, which was
Say that one more time.
Completely a bifurcated invertebrator.
Yes.
And I thought, this is so stupid that if these guys are still interested after this, they're nuts, and it's perfect.
Wow.
Yeah.
I feel like I should walk away right now. But we were. And that was also known as...
It was an umbrella.
Umbrella.
Yeah.
Yes. So what we saw that was creative about that is you literally took something and renamed it to something you couldn't repeat twice.
I actually had brought windshield wipers, and I was going to sell you guys that, but I thought that's so stupid. And then
You had windshield wipers in your purse?
Actually, yeah. And no.
Aren't those like this long?
Well, the inserts. Just rubber. But it was boring. So then on my drive, my hour drive over here, I don't even know. yeah, we did that. And then
So you succeeded. You
Cool.
sold us something. We offered you the job. You turned us down. We came after you, maybe threatened your family a little bit, and then you decided to come on board.
it's the
So,
rejection thing, if you can spin it around
Yeah.
and work with it.
That's it. So let's talk about your time starting with us. So
Yeah.
you got started with us in November, you said, right?
Yeah.
November, December?
I think
Somewhere
in
in there?
November?
Just in time for our team outing that you didn't come to. But anyway, so we brought you on board.
Yes.
You spent a lot of time one-on-one learning with Mike, learning our company processes, and you accomplished a lot of goals out of the gate. So why don't you tell everybody what it is that you've done so far for the company?
Ooh.
And kind of just, you don't have to be exact, but, contracts, records, all that kind of stuff.
Oh. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. So yeah, I did spend a lot of one-on-one time with Mike. He taught me a ton. I've been in sales for a long time, but I didn't know any of this stuff. This is I wish actually I would have taken I would have known these things back in my last career. And I don't know. But yeah. So I got a $130,000 spread.
Sorry, what?
130,000. So 130.
So what's cool, when this plays back,
0,
Cody's
0.
going to literally throw 130,000 right here in between my hands. 130,000. So
That was wild.
that is really cool, because one thing that we've done really well is try to train reps in the past to get the largest spread possible. Now, keep in mind we're in California, right? So there's a lot of people that watch it on the East Coast, things like that. They're Midwest, where they're $50,000 houses.
Yeah.
Do you remember what price point that house was?
I think it was supposed to be for something.
So call it 400,000. So a house that is around 400,000, you pulled $130,000 spread out of it. Very impressive. So when we look at the largest spreads we've had, they've actually been on the lower price houses. Now, when I say lower priced, people are like, well, 400,000 is really high. However, $400,000 in this area is very median.
Right.
So $130,000 wholesale fee off of these houses. Oh my gosh. Now, you've done a lot more than that. So you've gotten some pretty good paychecks. We don't need to get into numbers. But you've gotten some pretty good paychecks during the time you've been here. I think you've actually been pretty close to what Mike's got.
Oh, don't tell him that.
No, we'll keep that a secret right now.
Okay.
But that's the thing, is you've started off with a bang. You've come in and you've hit the ground running. And why don't you tell me what your background was that kind of helped you get to this point? Because you didn't just start from literally your first job and doing this, right? So what have you done in the past?
I was an assistant service manager for Toyota for over 11 years. So whole different ballpark.
Okay.
Automotive.
Very male-driven industry.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Perfect.
So you're in there, female in a male-driven industry.
Yeah, young female. I mean, I cried like every day for a very long time. A very long time.
But
They were
not
not
in front of your customers. Oh gosh.
not so much for my customers, my coworkers all the time. I had my little designated space in the staircase that was Emilie's crying spot. I had a broom closet, and worst case was like under my desk. So,
well, it worked for you.
but yeah, but I didn't give up and just kept getting beat up a lot. But it was fine, and I was able to start doing the beating up.
How long were you there?
Almost 12 years, 11 something.
12 years.
Yeah.
So when we talk about not having a lot of interviews in the past, it makes sense when you're with a place for 12 years. So that shows dedication. So as I'm looking at resumes, that's something I really want to see. And I want to see somebody that sticks with something long term and doesn't give up. Because we put so much training into people when they come on board. Can you imagine if monthly people just left?
No.
Oh my gosh.
I think that commitment to doing whatever, for me, this was like trying something new, because I didn't want to be in the automotive industry I mean, I thought about it. It would have been great, profitable. I could have done something else, but this was really about trying something new and not giving up unless I know for sure it's not for me. And that would have, I give myself a timeline, like 6 months. If 6 months from now, if I cannot figure this out, then I'm done. But no.
Yeah, and you know what? Here, Cody, let me borrow your headset real quick. I'm just going to earmuff myself, and you just tell people how you like the job.
But the job's fine. My boss is a little, but the job's fine.
I like how you have the headphones on, but you can totally hear everything.
Well, you're not
that's
supposed to
going
tell her
on.
that. I mean, they're hooked up to the headphones.
No, the job is actually really cool. I am not constrained to a desk. I get to talk to different people every single day, which is what I love. It's every day is different. My coworkers are really cool, so it's a nice little family community. I like that. The team is awesome. The team.
Let's talk about that. So, you worked at a place that, in the past, obviously a very competitive place. And when you take that team environment versus this team environment, what do you see as a difference between the automotive and coming over to real estate?
Ooh. You know what? Actually, when I first started at Toyota, we had a small team, and I loved that. And we grew a lot, and there was a lot of disconnect, I believe, within teams, and it was kind of sad. And there were a lot of reasons why. So I do love that this is small, and as we grow, as long as we work on the team thing, it would be fine. But there's a lot. As far as like automotive versus here, I mean, everywhere's competitive, and
and that's a hard environment to keep.
Yeah.
And that has been one of my biggest challenges growing a team, because we started out with 3 people in our office, and then as we went 4, 5, 6, I think we have 12 now.
Yeah.
As we started doing that, it is very hard to keep that team environment. And one of the challenges, we have someone in Texas now. He's not even here.
Yeah.
He's got his own bell literally in his apartment where he works from, and he rings his bell over FaceTime.
Yeah.
And that's the difference, is as we continue to grow and as we spread state to state to state, it is going to be harder to keep that. But that is something that we are so driven on, because we would not survive without this team.
Absolutely.
So we just did a celebration a couple weeks ago. So you guys put basically a challenge on yourselves, and you made me pay for it.
Yes.
That said, if you guys get 11 contracts in a single week, now keep in mind our spreads and our contracts are $70,000, $80,000, $90,000. That I have to take you guys somewhere. Where did you bet that I have to take you?
Mastro's.
So Mastro's Steakhouse. So we did that. Was that last week? Week before?
Yeah, last Tuesday.
Last Tuesday. So
it's all a blur.
A week ago, they accomplished this goal. Now, let me just be clear. So we are now at March 10th. So that would have been somewhere around the 3rd, 4th, right in there. And my team has already beat their quarterly Q1 2020 goal in the first 6 weeks of the year. I mean,
pretty
killer. Now, I didn't screw up setting that goal. I set that goal higher than we've ever had a quarter be. And they blew it out of the water. So if I can buy them a $1,000 steak dinner, I am all for it for that. But you accomplished something that really attributed to that 11. You got one seller to sell you 6 properties.
Yeah.
6 properties. Now, when you look at this on an L shape, these properties literally take up this whole block and over on the other side with one random house in between.
Right.
Now, I'm sure you're going to buy that house.
Yeah.
But we got 6 properties. Now, that took some negotiation. Why don't you tell us about that?
Ooh, that was a 2-day. Oh, man. It was rough. It was
I don't
it
think
was
I
very
saw
rough.
you for 2 days.
No.
Yeah.
I don't remember those 2 days. It was the seller tried everything in their possibility to not sell these properties. They gave us everything possible to where they, couldn't meet with us. They were out of town, this and that. And then literally like up until after 2 days, up until the moment that they were actually signing, I mean, couldn't believe it. They weren't signing until they were actually signing. They just had every excuse in the book. They were very, very, very hard people. We tried every, angle. And then even after they sold, they were, but they're on board now. They're totally fine. But it was rough.
I heard you guys were drinking White Claws with them at like 10 a.m. at a country club
We
or
go to a
some
country
sort?
club, yeah. I wasn't.
Hey,
Only
it is
because
what it
the
is.
wife, I just wanted to mirror the person across from me, and she wasn't drinking, so I didn't. But yeah.
So it just shows kind of the extra mile you have to go to get some contracts. And When it's this way, if the seller wants to go to their country club,
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, and they want to go grab a White Claw there, you have to mirror them,
Yes.
right? You have to mirror the people that are there. Now, luckily, Mike was there with you as well, so he was able to kind of mirror the guy, and you were able to mirror the girl,
Yeah.
and you guys became those people at that time to lock up 6 contracts. Again, 6 contracts.
They had another investor already they've been talking to for what sounded about 2 years.
Yeah.
So this guy has been in their ear for almost 2 years trying to buy these properties. We go in for 2 days and get it done.
And what's funny is, if what I heard was right, this guy actually helped them, directed them on how to evict tenants out of one of the properties. But he didn't have his interest secured. He didn't pay anything for it. They paid for it, but he directed them how to do it.
Yes.
And in the state of California, that can actually be really difficult and time-consuming.
Yes.
He spent a lot of time on this, and we didn't know till afterwards this guy had actually spent time on all this stuff. So he tried to get them to back out of the contract with us, but ultimately he didn't secure his interest.
Right.
And we did.
It was one of those things where we went in and like day 2, I was like, okay, if we don't get this, just punch me in the face. Like,
right?
we are going in to get this. We were getting in the car. We were driving to get these deals. Like,
and you
there's
set your mind
nothing.
to it. You went out there and you said, we're going to get this. I remember Mike calling me saying, hey, man, you may not see me for a couple days. I mean, that's pretty much what he said to me. And my response is, okay, great. I knew you're out there getting contracts.
Just come back with the contracts. And that was the thing, too. We didn't want to come back with our tails between our legs, just without getting them. I would have. So we just mentally said, we're not leaving this until it's a signature. And once they were signing, inside, I'm like, oh my gosh.
And we have a text message chain for all of our sales team.
Yeah.
And it's a very lively text message chain. Every time somebody gets a contract, they literally come on here and they send in their contracts. We call it the sales team accountability. And we come on here, they send in their contracts on the phone, and everyone says, oh my gosh, great job. But you also include potential spread, seller name, and a few other things with it.
Yeah.
And you guys planned this out, obviously, that you sent one, Mike sent one, you sent one, Mike sent one, and you guys went through the 6.
Well, I was driving, so I didn't want to, Mike to send all 6. We, I made him.
You still sent them, yes. While you were driving.
No, I had him send them.
Okay. But, I mean, ultimately, that's really cool, though, because it just shows the teamwork that takes place to do this.
Yeah.
So, why don't you tell me, you've been to a lot of very strange houses.
Yes.
You've been hanging out with Mike.
Just strange as it
But, strange as it is. What's the craziest thing you've encountered so far?
Ooh.
And you can't count anything in the office. I'm talking about out of the office.
Okay. Craziest thing. I've seen some really bad. I didn't know these things existed. I didn't know.
So when you say bad, what do you mean? So
I mean,
everyone's watching, right? But they haven't walked through these houses. What did you walk into, and what is the smell?
So there's been like 3 that top 3. One hoarder house that I don't know how you literally could just walk but kitchen filled, like there was a kitchen underneath everything, but it was filled to the roof with boxes and stuff. So there
as you
was
walk
not
in the house, you see boxes piled to the ceiling. You
and
see just a thin
maze.
walkway.
Yeah,
I've
like
been
a
in so
corn
many of
maze.
these houses in the past, and you know that there is literally just rats all over inside of this
she
thing.
said she had cats, and I don't know where you could smell them for sure, but you don't know if one were
alive.
to die or something. Yeah, you would never. Oh, it was bad. But
what was that smell in that house? What would you possibly describe that as?
I would say pungent armpit.
Wow.
Plus cat piss.
Okay. All right.
Plus, I don't know.
You know what I think that smells like? Any idea?
Sulfur? I don't know. Uh-oh.
Let's just see what that smells like.
Real quick, you guys were talking about.
Oh.
And I'm broke. I don't have any money.
Oh, money.
So that smells like money.
Like money.
That's exactly what that smells like.
Yeah.
Real quick, you guys were talking about houses and how bad some of these things can get. I just wanted to show some of
This
the
one
people.
was gnarly as well.
This is actually one that she got. So this is our Lomita house. And this house here definitely had a big foundation problem to it, a lot of stuff. And Cody, this was actually the first house you walked through with me. And I thought you were going to throw up on me. So what did you think? Did it smell like money to you?
It was so bad, but it smelled like dollar bills. Yeah.
The worst one, though, I think, was the Corona one, where the seller brought hazmat suits and masks and put like lavender oil to breathe.
You know what's funny is actually that shows kind of, not in a bad way, but how new you are, because that house did not smell bad to me at all.
Smelled like lavender to me because
I've been in houses where there's holes in the ceiling,
Yeah.
and rats are literally coming in like crazy, and the floor is covered in rat crap.
Yeah.
And you literally walk out of there feeling like you need to throw away your shoes.
Yeah.
And that stuff, I mean, honestly, as bad as it smells, still smells like money to me.
Yeah.
Now,
Well, that guy had said too that there was snakes that in rat because there was a foundation issues and the ceiling had separated from the walls and this and that, so that little critters would crawl in. So there was rats and snakes. So I was kind of snaked
one of the
out.
worst houses I think I went to, the guy was in foreclosure, and he had been living in the house, been 100 and some degrees out, and his sewer was turned off.
Oh.
So he'd been going to the bathroom in his toilet. When that toilet filled up, because he couldn't flush it, when it filled up, he put a garbage bag over it and duct taped around the toilet. Then, where else could he go? So he started going in the bathtub.
No.
So,
No.
as I got out of the car and I started approaching the house, I could just smell something. And it smelled horrible. I would have guessed there's a sewer main like busted in the yard. And I get closer and closer to the door, and I'm just like, whew. Like I could just smell it. I'm like, this is going to be bad. And of course, the owners in the house, they're used to it.
Right.
We smell it. They're living in it. So you have to not act grossed out. And I'm walking through this house, and it smelled like sewage. And I'm sitting here just feeling like doing everything I could to not feel like I needed to puke.
Were your eyes watering? Were you sweaty?
It was pretty bad.
Yeah.
And as we walked through the house, it was getting stronger and stronger as we went to the bathroom area. And then I was like, let's check out the outside. I was doing everything I could to get the guy out of the house.
Yeah.
And finally, after about another 15 minutes, I talked him into walking to the front yard. And I just felt like I needed one of those hazmat showers you pull down and then eye wash stations. It was bad. But that house still today made us the largest spread we've ever had.
Really?
And I still look back at that and I'm like, as bad as that smelled, it smelled like money.
It's not that bad.
Exactly it. So for anyone trying to hire out there, any acquisitions people, what advice would you have for people trying to go out and do what you do?
Oh, just keep going at it. Keep going at it. You're going to get the small spreads. You're going to get the people yelling at you on the phone, the people hanging up, the people not calling you back, the people lying to your face every day about everything. As open as you are with them about just being open, you're still going to get. So just don't let one seller affect your next potential.
So reset yourself.
Every
get back
single
out there,
call.
Do it again.
Yeah.
Now there's a little something we do when you get a contract around here.
Oh God, no.
So we got to do this right here on
I'm
camera.
gonna lose my arm.
Are you ready for this? Are you ready? Here we go. Right here. Right here.
No. Okay, that wasn't bad.
That wasn't too bad.
No.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching. This is Emilie, and she's out there killing it for us. She's going to get back out there and do it again and get how many contracts today?
5.
5 today. Wow. She's going to go out there and get 5, and if she gets 5 today, I will give her $500. So, cash. Get out there, get it. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next time.
Let's get one more high five to end it.
Okay.
Right there.
Okay. Ow.